Is Apple TV or Roku the best? Hey guys, Freddie with CFL-TECH here. Today we're looking at Apple TV versus Roku. So in this video, what we're looking at today is the interface for both, to show you the user interface, how it looks, how it performs, and some of the features of both. Now this will not be about any tech specs or anything nerdy. It's just about plugging your device in and getting it going. And to be honest with you, any device you buy today, any modern day device will do what you pretty much need it to do. It's just a matter of how it looks and how it performs overall. Those are big important points here to look at. Of course, there are always tech specs that are nerdy, and we like those too, but we know that a lot of people, especially if they're new to cord cutting or want to just switch one platform to another, just want to see what the other one's like, and that's what this is mainly about. So let's get right into it here and take a look at Apple TV to start off. Now what you see here is the home screen for Apple TV. What you don't see on this screen here is a bunch of ads, which is very refreshing with Apple TV. There are no ads. The other thing you don't see here is a link to live TV, so that could be viewed as a negative if you're used to Google TV or Roku. Now that could be seen as a negative. Some people may say, you know what, it doesn't matter. I have all these apps installed on here, and guess what? A lot of these apps have fast channels inside of them. They sure do. Look at Pluto TV. You have DirecTV there with My Free DirecTV. You have Sling with Free Stream. You have Xumo Play. You have Tubi, Plex. All of these apps are available on Apple TV. You still have Freevee out there that's still available. Thought it was going to be shut down, but it still works. You know, you have so many different options on here. Philo free as well. Of course, you have Prime Video. And of course, you have Apple TV Plus, which does have a subscription fee for about $10 a month. So really, overall, you get all of the entertainment on Apple TV that you get on the other platforms. You just don't get the live TV tab. It's not one of those, okay, let me get into the system here and start watching a live tab. You just don't do that. But it's so fast with the A15 Bionic chip in this device. It's so fast that once you get into one of these, let's go into Xumo Play for an example. It loads up so quickly. And once you get into the app, look at this. We're ready to roll here with live TV channels, the fast channels. You look at the switching the channels. Look how quick. I mean, it's amazing how fast this device is. It's one of the big points of Apple TV. It's just so quick and efficient. And I can tell you what, it's not the cheapest device. It's well over $100. You can look at it $135 to $150 for Apple TV. But it does seem to be worth the price of admission, according to a lot of the reviewers. And we do kind of have to agree with that. We are rather impressed with this device. We've had it for several months now. I mean, look at this thing just fly. It's really amazing, and that's just in one app. And I can tell you the performance overall is good in all of the apps we've tried. Some of it could be app dependent on how it performs, of course, depending on that as well. But overall, it's a very fast device, very efficient, and we love it. But let's get out of this app here and go now to the Homes tab. Let's hit the home button on our remote. Now, the Google TV remote is another great item here. When you look at the remote, it's all metal in this generation device that came out in 2022. It's still available. Now, there's rumor out there that a new device, new Apple TV, is going to be available later in 2025. There are some specs out there and rumors out there, so if you do some searches on that, you definitely will find some information. There is just no exact release date yet. It has been talked about for quite some time, but to be honest with you, this device is so good from 2022, there hasn't been a need for a new Apple TV device. It's still good with its updates for quite some time yet, probably another couple of years of updates by Apple. So even if you picked one of these devices up right now, we have the 128 gig device at $150 with Ethernet and Wi-Fi. Now you can get the one without Ethernet for about $130-ish or so with 64 gigabytes. If that's enough for you, that may work. But overall, a really good device. Now here's a little tip here. Now, say you want to take one of these apps here, and put it into a folder. Little tip and trick here, or a tip trick, whatever you want to call it. Hold down the enter button on your remote. Now you have an option to move to, and you can select new folder. So once you do that, there's a folder created, and by default, it's called Entertainment. So we'll leave it at that. So now you'll see now the new folder called Entertainment there now on your home screen. And you can easily go in now and even hold down the enter button again on the app if you want to delete the app or if you want to take it out of the folders, or you can move to the home screen again, which we'll do that right now. So now the folder is gone, just easy like that. And you can move it around as well, leave it where you want. Very easy to move around your apps. So a very nice feature there with Apple TV. So a little tip there you can try if you're new to the platform. So let's go look at one other thing here. Let's look at the settings. Now, when you go into the settings, you see all the options in here. Now, we're not going into any of these, but you can see what you have here. Let's look at system real quick, though. With system, you have software updates. You could either keep those for automatic or do them manually. We have hours turned off just in case there's a bug. We'll be aware of it, and then we can update it at a later time. Right now, we have it off, but we go in here, we check for software updates. So if you go in here, update software, you'll see now it's telling you the version that we have, and it's up to date, so very easy there. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to go into the App Store real quick as well. Now, with apps, you can have it set to update automatically as well. So with this now, we have it set to manually update, so we have it turned off. So what we do here is we go to Purchase Apps, and then we go to All Apps. So here are all of the apps that we have installed on our Apple TV. So any one of these apps, we could just hit the Enter button. Now it's saying open, but if there was an update there, it would say update. So all you have to do is hit update. Maybe one of these has an update. Let's just check a couple here. We did update them recently, so there may not be any right now. But if it does say update there's one. Let's just show you now. Fubo is updating. Look how quick this thing updates. It is now updated. That is so fast. It's remarkable. So very quick to update your apps. And it's very nice user interface. You have Discover, so you can look for apps on here. You have also here a bunch of different apps with different categories. For sports fans, stay informed. You have news. So you have cooking inspiration, apps we love right now. You have different categories here. Look at all of these categories you have to choose from. Top free apps on Apple TV. So that's also very nice. Top paid apps. So they have a bunch of different categories, as you see. So Apple TV is a very easy user interface to use. It's very quick, a little pricey for the initial, of course, when you buy the device, it's a little pricey, but overall, for what you get for the money, with the storage space, even at 64 gigs, we have the 128, and a quick A15 Bionic chip in here, it is worth the price of admission, according to what we think. What do you think? Do you have an Apple TV and do you love it? Do you think it's the best platform? Maybe Roku's better, and we're going to look at Roku here in a moment. But that was one tip we showed you with the folders. Also, let's go to the home. Let's hit the Apple TV remote here, and with the button here, we're going to hit the TV home button. And here's an actual photo of the remote that we're using, so you get an idea of what it looks like. All aluminum. It's very nice. Good, feels good in the hand as well. What we're going to show you now is on the remote. If you hold down the TV home button, you do now have, let's show you that here. There you go. Little hiccup there with hitting the wrong button. There you go. Now you have these tiles here of the recently opened apps. So it's just like your phone. If you have an Android phone, you want to clear all, you can go ahead now. Once you do this, once you have these showing, you can close these out. These will close all of the apps that you had open. They will be closed out. So now you can use your touch-enabled click pad. So what you want to do now is you just take your thumb and scroll across the click pad, and it removes those apps just like that. Now we have the home screen, and that's it. We're back to home. So as easy as that. So it's another tip. Very easy thing to do to close out the apps. When we first got the Apple TV, we were looking for the close button, and there wasn't any, so we had to figure that out ourselves, and then we did a little search online. But very easy to close out previously open apps. So that's Apple TV. A quick look at it, see how it looks, how it performs. It's very quick. The remote's great. Everything's very nice. No ads. Now, of course, you can get into one of these apps very quickly to start watching TV. All of the favorite apps are on here as well for the most part. You may get one or two apps here and there that are not available for Apple TV, but overall, there's a lot available. So that's Apple TV. So let's go right into now and look at the Roku to show you the comparison between the two. All right, we have our Roku pulled up here. And as you can see here, you have app tiles. And on the left side, you have a menu. Now with the menu, you have a bunch of different options here. We're scrolling through. You see sports, what to watch, daily trivia, streaming stores, search, settings. So as you can see, it's a lot different than Apple TV with the menu. You don't have this type of menu on Apple TV. And you also have an ad at the bottom of the screen there. Now it's kind of an ad about NBA, sports, your home for the playoffs. So a little ad there. Now Apple TV doesn't have ads. Now Roku has been experimenting with some new ads. Now when you first fire up your Roku TV or device, they were experimenting with some new ads, and it has been met with some negativity. We don't know where they're at right now with that and where they're going with it, but just be aware that you might see some new ad innovations, if you will, with Roku, with new ways to display ads to their users. So that's one thing different compared to Apple TV, and that could be a big difference for a lot of people that don't want to see any ads at all. Apple TV is the one for you if you don't want the ads, but again, you don't have the live TV. And speaking of live TV, here's the live TV menu option. So when you go to live TV, you see a channel guide option. You have Cops, you have Yacht Rock. These are featured channels. So when you go here, you have a bunch of other recently watched on Roku channel, trending now, favorite live TV channels, recommended apps. So instead of going into the guide, you can see some tiles here that refer to the guide and how you have it set up with favorites and whatnot. But look at all of these categories. Now this is really a get in and start watching type of interface versus the Apple TV. But Apple TV is so fast, as you saw, you got right into the app and you can start watching fast channels. So it's really negligible on how much faster it is to get into watching live TV or not. But overall, this interface has a lot of suggestions and recommendations versus Apple TV. So it's also very quick. Now we have the least expensive Roku device at around $25 to $30. So it's still pretty quick. It moves very well with the remote. And here's a photo of the remote we're using. So it's very basic, easy to use, and it's made out of plastic. It feels good in the hands. It does a very good job overall. No complaints. And it moves, like I said, very smoothly here. But you can see all these recommendations, which is a lot different than Apple TV. So let's get out of this here and show you one more thing with live TV. So we go to the guide. We're going to go into the guide real quick to show you the layout here. And it loads relatively quick there, as you can see, but there's so many channels on here, hundreds of channels that are free included that are part of the interface itself. Now this is not the apps that you saw on Apple TV. Now there are Pluto channels integrated into this as well. It gets kind of complex to explain it all, but they do integrate some other companies stuff in here. So you have WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery. You have also, of course, the Roku channels themselves from Roku. So there's a lot going on in here, but it moves very well. And let's just show you one little tip here. So if you want to make one of these your favorite channels, you hit the star button on your remote, and then you can favorite this channel, hide this channel, sort channels list, manage channels, and then close. So that's very easy to do. So that's just a tip and trick. Now, we're not going to spend much time in the guide here. There's hundreds of channels. We did a video on this as well recently. The video when we compared Roku versus Google TV, we did show you the guide as well. And we have done other videos on the Roku guide with the live channels as well on the channel. So check those out if you're interested. This is a quick look at the guide and a quick tip. Now, when you go into settings, we're not going to show you how to change any of the settings, but this is the menu here. As you scroll through, look at all the different options in here. There's just a lot of different options in the settings. You can tailor to what you want. You have some good settings here for display. You have also your home screen layout. You could also go ahead and let's go show you one tip here, another tip with the tiles here. So with the tiles, you can hit the highlight a tile, hit the star button on your remote. Now you can move the app. So let's just move this one app here. We have Prime Video. We can put it where we want. So let's leave it right there. Hit the enter button. And now it will be placed in a new spot. So that's another little tip there to move the tiles around to where you want. If you want it towards the top, when you hit the home button, now you'll see your Prime Video right there. So very easy to do. So these are some tips and tricks. But overall, the interface is really smooth and the apps load up pretty quickly. Let's load up one of these apps here and show you. Let's go into Xumo Play. Similar app. This is what we loaded up on the Apple TV. Let's see what it does on here. Maybe a little slower than Apple TV. As we were explaining, Apple TV is extremely fast, but this wasn't too bad, not too far behind. It scrolls pretty nice as well, as you can see in the guide, so no real problem with that as well. So overall, pretty nice. And Roku is the most popular operating system, most popular device. They just did a survey recently at the time of this video. So it is the most popular, and probably because of the Roku TVs that come pre-installed with the operating system, that does help. Apple TV, there are no Apple TVs per se that are Apple actual TV sets that have Apple TV pre-installed, so that does keep the numbers down. And Apple TV is overall more expensive. You can get a Roku device in the $20 to $30 range to get right in the door, so very easy to get into a Roku device, very inexpensive. Let's go out of this now, and there's the interface. So it does scroll very nicely overall, not a big issue. We like the Roku interface as well. It's really a matter of what you like, what's best for you, of course. Now, do you like the live TV options? Now, the search feature is very good on both as well. You have voice search with Apple TV, of course, with Roku as well. So they both work very good. Overall, it's a matter of preference, but Roku, for the money, for a lot of people, does work well. They're not very oriented with Roku devices. They use a lot of the Cortex processors that they use, and a lot of the Google TV devices. For instance, the Walmart on Google TV devices use the Cortex ARM devices. This is very similar. The storage on Roku is not huge. The RAM is not that huge because it's not required. It's a very efficient operating system. They keep it that way, the way they built it, so they don't require a powerhouse with hardware, and that keeps them very efficient, and that also keeps the prices down as well. That's another reason why the prices are not that expensive to get a Roku device. So that's that. Very nice, but overall, the featured content on here is also very nice. So if you like an operating system that gives you a lot of recommendations, not expensive, maybe Roku's better for you. One other thing to mention here is about the sports. They are more sports-centric as well. We mentioned that in the Google TV review as well against Roku. When you look at the sports tab here, look at all the sports options on here. And they also have some live sports channels that are fast channels, like NBA, you have an NFL channel, MLB channel. These are all free. And you also get Sunday baseball as well on here at no charge, a Sunday leadoff game. Now, Apple TV does have Friday Night Baseball. However, that's with an Apple TV Plus subscription, which is $10 per month. They do both offer MLB baseball games. Roku is free, Apple TV is not. Just something to throw out there as well. But look at all these browse by sport options. So this is what makes Roku very nice. So overall, that's Roku. What are your thoughts on Roku versus Apple TV? Which one are you using? Are you thinking of switching from one to the other? Are you tired of the ads on Roku? Maybe just want to go to a cleaner interface with Apple TV and a faster one overall. Put your comments down below. Hopefully you found this information helpful for your for the review of these, and it helped you out making a decision. Put your comments down below. If it's your first time here on the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops from CFL-TECH. We appreciate you watching. Thank you. The channel continues to grow. Freddie Tech will be checking out of this one. Soon to be back with another. Take care.